Hello, hello. Welcome to our episode of the Creative Pause, where we are doing a First Friday episode with 49 Burning Condors. My name is Susan Padron, and I'm here with my co-host, who I will allow to introduce herself.
Hey everybody, I'm Stacey Faye. It's so good to have you here with us and to do a live show again, and to have live music because I feel like it kicks the Friday and the weekend off really awesomely. And our sound today with 49 Burning Condors is very, I feel like October-ish. So we're very excited to have them be with us for this First Friday. Before we get to them and to the good music today and their introduction, we always start with a question. And our question today is, what have you been listening to lately? I know music has been a good escape for many of us lately. So what are you all listening to? For those there live, feel free to chat it in. Let us know what you're listening to. And I'll also answer it along with Susan and the gang here today. So what am I listening to lately? My life right now is an interesting mix of like children's music because I have my kids full time. So I'm listening to a lot of Raffi, which has been recommended many times on this show, funny enough. So I'm listening to a lot of Raffi. And then when I can't handle that anymore, because if I hear Wheels on the Bus one more time, I will poke my eyeballs out. I then switch most times to lately it's been 1940s, a little bit of 1980s. What was I listening to the other day too? Frank Sinatra for some reason lately. It depends on the day. Basically, whatever's going to give me energy and infuse some positivity into my day. So, yeah, that's me lately. How about you, Susan?
Yeah, it's so funny, Stacey, that you mentioned like kids' music, and obviously that heavy influence is there for sure. Right now, I am really happy because my son, who will be turning 6 this month, has actually been really into Hamilton. So it's been a nice break from, like typical kids stuff, listening to songs from Hamilton, although my husband and I had to have a conversation about like the profanity in Hamilton. We're like, but it's educational. So like, when they throw out like motherfucking here and there, like it's fine. Everything's fine. But for me personally, when I'm listening to music lately, I'm still on like lately I've been on more of a like indie alternative kind of kick. Listening to a lot of different playlists on Spotify, and incorporating some like Lana Del Rey in there, some Billie Eilish too. But then I just love that like folky sound too of like Mumford and Sons and a lot of bands like that too. So Chris and Kimber, what have you been listening to lately?
So, shall I go first?
You got it.
All right. Well, one of my favorite albums of all time is Ingrid Michaelson's Human Again. It came out when I was in college, and it came out in the fall. So whenever the fall hits, I put it on. It immediately brings so much nostalgia. I personally think it's one of her absolute best, most underrated albums that she's ever created. I remember getting it at the record store, and the guy at the record store was like, "Oh, this is a real gem that people don't know about." So Ingrid Michaelson's Human Again is my favorite. I also been listening to a lot of Chelsea Wolfe. If you like really eerie, aesthetic, kind of creepy, doom, female witch music, Chelsea Wolfe is incredible. And then obviously Fiona Apple, because her album this year was just phenomenal. And I listened to it basically on repeat. So if I had to pick three, I listen to a lot of music, but if I had to pick three.
If I had to pick three. Mine, Chelsea Wolfe was on my list. I listen to Chelsea Wolfe a lot. Same exact reasons. I really like All Them Witches released a new album called Nothing as the Ideal. It's like a darker, like kind of psych rock album. It's really good. They recorded at Abbey Roads, and it's just got this kind of like witchy vibe to it. And then the other thing, I've been listening to Elton John a lot.
Yeah.
I just rewatched Rocket Man because that came on TV, and that's what we do now is watch TV. So, and I've just been on a kick of Elton John music. So yeah, those would be my three.
Yeah.
I did not know Fiona Apple, somehow, probably because I'm underneath like the blanket of children. I didn't know Fiona Apple came out with a new album. I'm going to have to listen
to it. It's like chock full of female empowerment, and it's absolutely amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I haven't listened to it yet either, but I remember like listened to her stuff saw
Yeah.
her at the very first Lilith Fair when that was a thing too.
Whoa, yeah, it's called Fetch the Bolt Cutters. It's really, really good.
I need to check it out like immediately. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder for both of us. We're like, okay, and we're gonna be listening to some Fiona Apple, which is awesome. So yay.
Awesome. And we heard in the chat Moontooth. I don't know Moontooth actually.
Oh,
yeah, I've heard of them.
very good.
Ironically enough, the person who said that they're listening to Moontooth is identifying as Kimber's floppy hat. So
That's gotta be a band member.
That's gotta be a band member.
That's gotta be a band member.
Yes.
They're referencing the floppy hat.
I wear a floppy hat for every show, so it's iconic that
It's where she holds her power.
It's where, yes, it's where I get all my singing power from,
Yeah.
apparently.
Like Achilles' heel.
That's awesome.
all right, so now what I would love to do is segue into the quote that Kimber and Chris shared with us. I'm going to do a screen share to pull that up. So bear with me for a moment as my computer plays catch up. Okay, so this is an excerpt from a Sylvia Plath piece, and it's ash, ash, you poke and stir, flesh, bone, there's nothing there. A cake of soap, a wedding ring, a gold filling. Hair God, hair Lucifer, beware, beware. Out of the ash, I rise with my red hair, and I eat men like air. So good. Oh my gosh, I want to hear from both of you. What made you choose this, and why do you want to share with us today?
Yes, so this is from Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath. I consider Sylvia Plath one of our literary witches of not our generation, but of, the past 100 years. I think her poetry is absolutely beautiful. We could consider ourselves a little bit of a femme fatale band. A lot of the lyrics that I write are very woman eats man, maybe not literally, but maybe sometimes literally.
Yeah, sometimes exactly
just
literally.
really kind of strong but eerie female characters. And so I draw a ton of inspiration from Sylvia Plath. So yeah, I love this quote. The actual poem is very long, but the ending is just so powerful and visceral that I think it's a really good kind of like summarization of who we are as a band and the kind of music we like to write. So
yeah, it's definitely got that 49 Burning Condors style to it.
Yes.
As soon as you showed it to me, I was like, yeah, that's it, you're good.
So cool. It's just, I mean, especially I feel like this time of year, like all of that eeriness, but like strength and darkness. I love it. Like I just was feeling all of the fall vibes in the best ways. So thank you.
Yeah, and witchcraft is definitely going through a bit of a renaissance right now. And so I think it's definitely reminiscent of like female empowerment in general, to be able to kind of like do things on your own with your own two hands. And so, yeah, I just love it.
I completely agree with you. I think even just like the term witch has been completely revamped and reborn. It's like, it's so much more about women who I think are spiritual, but also empowered and empower other women that are connecting with the earth and with nature and the universe. It's not just like, black hat and your broom and oceans, although it can be that too, but like it's so much more expansive than that like limited, almost like with a negative connotation. It's a really empowering term now, so I love all of that.
Yeah, and thank you for sharing Sylvia Plath. I feel like she's always been one of my favorite poets, but it's interesting because many of her poems are so esoteric and you don't understand anything, and then she has a line in there that you're like, oh my god.
Yes.
Like,
yes, those last two lines, like, I rise from the ashes of the red hair, I eat men like air. When I first read that time, I was like, can I steal that lyric for my own songs? Because it's so powerful.
Yeah, she's great.
That's awesome. Well, we are so excited to more formally introduce 49 Burning Condors with us today for our live music set. They are from Philadelphia, so right nearby where Susan and I also live, and are sort of our hometown cities. So we're so excited to have them. And we have two members of the band today. I know that Kimber and Christopher will talk about the other band members, but we have Kimber Doolin and Christopher Tremogli. Close enough, I think. With us today on the show. And they're going to be playing a few songs from their new EP, Truths and Roses. And as you heard a little bit with what they were talking about a moment ago, they believe in escapism as a form of self-care, and that escape contains stories of witches and debauchery and eerie swamp fables. So their sound is gorgeous. It's a mix of folk and Southern and Gothic. And Kimber's voice is really hauntingly beautiful, as you'll see here in a moment. So we're so super excited. And Christopher, if you could tell us again what you're playing there, because I know it's a really awesome instrument. It might just be a variation of a guitar.
Yeah,
Susan
it's
better than me because she's a musician. It's a beautiful, beautiful instrument. So
steel center. It's a resonator with a wood frame around it. Yeah, so it's got kind of a banjo-ish ting feel to it, and it just gives the instrument a lot more twang when you play it live. And yeah, I love these types of instruments.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's like a work of art in itself. Awesome. Well, we're so excited to have you with us, and we can't wait to hear the music and hear a little bit more about you. So you can take it away.
Thank you.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Was lean, you twisted soul, you stole my heart in New Orleans with your bag of bones and your gnarled fingers. You're just a witch in a shack on a river, living by the sea. Rosaline, you promised me when I got home he would be free, but there I stood and he never came. Still with his bitch in a meadow, sipping beer in old country. Lean, you bitter breeze, you stole my hair and dust my soul. You said, hold this close and lay it to rest. Take the last coat by the bay, taste the breeze, beat the Mississippi. Rosaline, you better come. You stole my hair and dust my soul. You said, hold this close, lay it to rest. Take the last boat by the bay, taste the breeze, beat the Mississippi. you all. If you have not heard us before, we are 49 Burning Condors. I just wanted to say thank you so much for having us here to perform. We believe escapism is really important, especially in times like these. It's what we aim to do with all of our music, with the storytelling. That song was called Rosaline. It was actually the first song I've ever written lyrically or structurally in any kind of capacity. It's the first song that Chris and I wrote together. It was kind of the birth of 49 Burning Condors. I actually wrote the lyrics to it on like a pilgrimage to New Orleans, where I absolutely fell in love with New Orleans and the culture and the swamps and the stories and the cobblestones and all of the character of New Orleans. So I wrote that when I was sitting right on the Mississippi, and I brought it back to Chris, and I was like, I have this song. It was originally called Henrietta. It was too many syllables, so we shortened it to Rosaline, as is the way with music. But it just kind of built the ethos of the band, and we brought it then. It was on our original EP. It was just the two of us and our bassist, Zach. And then we brought it to the full band, which now includes also our drummer, Jason Gooch, who I think is on our live stream today, and also our incredible violinist, Sasha Key. So we absolutely love storytelling. And that's one of our favorite songs to perform. It's very aesthetic and creepy and it's about a witch. So that was Rosaline. And the next song that we're going to perform is also, ironically, about a witch. It's called Marigold Lake. It was our single that we released in June. This is kind of about the birth of witchcraft. It's based on a very, very old historic text that referenced someone named Macau, which was one of the first references to a witch in history books. She was based out of Italy, and she was thought to have called down the moon. So that's what Marigold Lake is about, and we'll do that one now. She's walking in a lush meadow, blue silk bells in her hair. She's got a mind to find her own fly swarm. She's unaware. The sun beats down, the hounds all sleep. Puff buzz ripped up her spine, the air was thick, the brushwood swelled miles wide, thorns were poison with sick. The way rows of silk bells in her hair. She's got a mind to find her own slice warm. She's unaware. Her violence unfolds. Her virgin lips run dry. She is but a flower. She has brought down the sky. She beckons softly. They follow her sweet sound. Meets the gladly. And the end of miracle night. Beckons softly. They follow her sweet sound. Meets the gladly. And the end of miracle night. At the end of miracle night. At the end of Let it ring, let it ring. So that was Marigold. Again, that was our single. We really miss, obviously, all of the guys, but thankfully, we will all be together again in 2 weeks. We're doing our first real in-person live show at People's Light in Malvern, PA. It's a drive-in show, so, safety precautions. But tickets are available. I think we're like halfway sold out.
Yep.
So get your tickets if you want to come see the full
People's
band live.
Light, October 18th.
October 18th at 4 p.m. on a Sunday. So if you're just itching for some live music, or you're just, desperately want to get out of your house for this fall, it'll be a creepy, eerie, Halloween-y show with this kind of music. So come out and see us. We really want to meet people.
Yeah. Merch table, a whole
Merch
9
table,
yards.
whole 9 yards. A real show, everyone. Live music for the first time. So we're going to do one more song for y'all today. This is called Jim Jones. Jim Jones on the devil, out on the edge of town, tending his garden thick with our foul sin. He yearned for a boy to steal young Hazel's heart, raw enough to shake unwavering faith. The devil searches harvest and plucked the lustful fruit. His my own transgression. Oh, I got just the thing he brewed for you. One bite of this choice fruit will turn your voice to gold. So beautiful, the angels all will weep. Jim Jones on his teeth, his throat open wide, and out fell a sultry lullaby. began to dance. Hands toward the sky as the moon chased the sun through time. They blistered in the day, they starved in the night. Eyes rolling rage, and Jim Jones sang his song, Dear Hazel, for you. The angels did we. 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 The angels. The angels. The angels did we. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. We hope we could give you a little piece of escape today and some spookiness to kick off your October. And thank you so much for having us both.
Oh my gosh, of course. It was our pleasure. Love your sound, your music, like everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you. Like seriously, it was such a pleasure being able to listen to you both. And Stacey and I are like messaging on the chat and being like, ooh, that like drive-in performance sounds incredible. Like how did you set that up? Like I'm so
It is such a random
Yeah, we actually
story.
got contacted through a promoter via Instagram because our band followed one of his side projects, which was like hunting lantern flies.
Yeah.
And we thought it was funny. We followed it.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I heard you from when you started following us on Instagram, and they offered us this live-in show or this drive-in show. And
yeah, it just goes to show how small of a world it was. We just thought it was so funny that this guy was killing lantern flies and had an Instagram account for it. And so he listened to our new EP that we launched in August, and he loved it. And he was like, let's do it. And we're like, oh, yes, absolutely. Are you kidding me? So yeah, we're really excited.
Really excited about that show.
Oh, so good. Well, I was wondering, well, first off, I want you certainly to let people know where they can find you, your Instagram handle, your website, all of that. But I would also love to know like the sort of underlying themes of witchcraft and fables, and how did that all come about? Or what's the sort of like driving force behind that?
What a great story.
Do you want to plug, and how do you want to handle it?
You do plug. How about you plug? Yeah.
Instagram's 49 Burning Condors. Website is 49burningcondors.com. Facebook, I believe, is just 49 Burning Condors. So
Yes.
it's a bit of a theme. Spotify, 49 Burning Condors. We're on all digital platforms, any digital release, Google Play, iTunes. Am I missing anything? I don't believe we're on TikTok now.
We are on TikTok now.
49 Burning Condors as well. Yeah, I believe that's all of them. But yeah, 49burningcondors.com is the website. Yeah. And do you want to explain the witchcraft?
Yeah, I mean,
inspired
I'm a born reader first. If you had asked me 5 years ago if I was going to be a singer or if I was going to be an author, I probably would have said author. I love fables. Yeah. I've always been drawn to kind of like horror, witch, mystery short stories. Like I love Kelly Link. I love Neil Gaiman. I love Terry Pratchett, you know, all these kind of mystical worlds and the creation of them. And then, you know, of course, Chris is, I'm going to say obsessed with horror movies, but he's like a horror movie connoisseur. So it actually was kind of a natural inclination. And, you know, we both love the South and we love New Orleans, and it all could just kind of fit together.
Yeah, that Delta blues style was always something I really, really liked. So we tried to kind of work that into the music a lot, especially with like the twang of it all. I love that like pre-war blues with like Mississippi, Fred McDowell and all those guys, Charlie Patton.
Yeah,
I love that kind of music. So yeah.
Yeah, and Tom Waits is also a massive inspiration to us, and you can't be a better storyteller than Tom Waits. We just wanted some people to kind of step into the music and into like a little mini story in a different world. So yeah.
Yeah, I think you absolutely capture that in just bringing people into the story that you're telling. You're in it. You can like see it and feel it, and that's a really special experience. Thank you for sharing that with us, our audience, and with your audience too. And I just like grabbed my phone. I was like, oh, they're on Spotify. I was like, Spotify.
Oh, yay!
So yeah, you have an additional follower. I'm sure you're gonna have a lot more as well. But yeah, very excited to hear more of your music and just continue to follow you on your journey. It's amazing.
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much again for having us. I think this is just a phenomenal way to like pause and celebrate it. And support music. So we've just been really excited to be a part of this project.
Absolutely.
Oh, awesome. Well, it was so good to have you. And I did want to say that Kimber's floppy hat here in chat says that your website's amazing. And that is so true. I went to your website the other day. It's beautiful. It's like your music come alive.
Thank you.
In visual form.
Thank you. Yes.
So yeah, totally. Everybody should check out the website, both for the music and just for the sort of visual pleasure of looking at it.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for being with us today. And thank you everyone who took part. We will put the recording up on the Creative Pause website, as well as the links to 49 Burning Condors website and Instagram and all of those things. So you can find that all there at some point in the next few days. And until next time, we're so grateful to be with us. And we always end our episode with the same quote from a Mary Oliver poem, which is, "What will you do with your one wild and precious life?" So thanks everyone for being with us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.